we now have a guy. And I don't.
He's won championships.
Not only has he won championship, and like the hard thing with a hire like this is it's not a designated player. It's not a coach. Like these aren't names that like fans are
No.
intimately aware of. So you're like, Sporting Kansas City hired David Lee, and you're like, yeah, cool. What
Yeah.
what does that mean? What's going on, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of No Other Pod. I'm Jimmy, along with my good buddy Daniel Kooser. Dan, what's going on, my friend?
Buddy, the Major League Soccer milk has gone sour, my friend.
It's feels like it's been sour for a little while.
Been sour for a bit, but now it's just spoiled. Now it's just downright time to throw it out and buy new milk.
Yeah, well, good news. Sporting Kansas City, before we started recording today, might have purchased some new milk.
We got ourselves a milkman.
We got a milkman. That's what he's going to be known as from here on out. We will be talking about the big news that Sporting Kansas City has hired David Lee as president of soccer operations and general manager / chief soccer officer. Of course, first we got to talk about this stupid LA Galaxy game and such, and we'll get there. But before we do, Dan, how's your week? How was your weekend?
Yeah, just officiating weddings, bro. Just being, booked and busy.
How was that?
That was a lot of fun. A lot of fun. I'm sure those crazy kids partied well into the evening, but your boy had to get out of there and get home by 10:30.
Oh yeah. Do I have to call you Pastor Dan now?
It's Papa Dan.
Papa Dan. The Reverend Dr. Daniel.
Call me Daddy.
Daddy Dan. I don't want to do that.
No,
that's something totally different.
It's not fun though, man. I ate way too much food, but when it's free, what are you gonna do?
That's awesome. Yeah, weddings can be super fun. I did the same thing at my brother's wedding. I dipped while they partied until like 3 a.m. and I was out of there by like midnight, and I was like, I gotta go to sleep.
Midnight's why. See, we had to drive back to Topeka, of course, but
that's true.
I kind of started to get a sugar crash. They had Mud Pie Bakery Goods there, which is a vegan bakery.
Okay.
And they had like 4 different options. I was like, well, I got to try one of everything.
Obviously, that's how you do it.
It was a horrible idea. Horrible. I was like, all right, I'm about to get real hype, and then I'm going to go to sleep.
Just crash.
Yep.
Yeah. See, my mistake is I am still making the stupid error of drinking caffeine too late in the day. So I had a Celsius yesterday at like 5 p.m. I don't know why. And I couldn't fall asleep until like almost 4 in the morning.
Rookie move, dog. What are you 22 again?
I don't know what I was doing. I think I was tired and I was at Target or somewhere picking up something. I was like, I'll grab a tropical vibe. That sounds good. And I don't know why I did that. And next thing I know, it's like 1 in the morning. I'm laying down to go to sleep. I can't go to sleep. So I pull out my phone. I start scrolling through TikTok. And then I start thinking about, I had some friends who started telling spooky stories the other night, and they're talking about mimics. I don't know if you know what a mimic is. But now I'm laying in my bed. I live by myself with my dog, and I'm just thinking about these mimics in my house, which are like demons that like sound like somebody you know that you know is not there, and they're always on the other side of the door, and you're not supposed to answer them, or they get you. And I'm just like, great, now I'm gonna die in the night because of demons in my house. So
holy shit, dude! And then your 8 o'clock alarm goes off or whatever, and you're like, and now I have to work. What the hell is going on?
I'm gonna sleep for like 3 hours. At least I didn't die by a demon. So,
criminy.
That was my night. How's yours?
Oh, that's a little wild. Wedding went off without a hitch, though. Everyone said yes, so that's the most important part, right?
That is the most important part. So at least
I kind of thought as I got older, I'd get less wedding invitations. So yeah, it's not really the case. But I hadn't been to a wedding in 10 years.
Yeah, there is that like sweet spot age where you're in your like mid 20, like 24 to 30. I feel like it's like you're getting wedding invitations like every other month.
Yeah, for sure.
And yeah, it's slowed a little bit into the mid 30s, but it still happens.
I don't hate it. I mean, it's a lot of work. Well, it's a lot of work for the people to put on, for one.
Yes.
But it's also a lot to attend sometimes. It's like, okay, man, it kind of especially if you're a part of the ceremonies and stuff, it kind of does take up a couple days, but like not near as much as it does for the people putting it on.
Right. Right. Now I am to the age where like my younger cousins and obviously younger brother and such, they're starting to get married now. And so I'm like, okay, now it's like people who are 5,
Yeah.
6, 7 years younger than me. I'm going to their weddings, and now I just
Because you're the old guy. Yeah, you're the old guy.
yeah, and that's why I'm like, oh, it's 10:30. I guess I got to get my ass to bed. And Eddie's like, we're gonna be here for 5 more hours, and I was like, that sounds like a great time for you, but I'm
Oh
tired.
my gosh. I can imagine.
Yeah, but it's I'm glad that you're able to do it, and Papa Dan is now an official thing. So I assume
Yeah.
they'll have business cards.
No business cards, man. It's word of mouth, and I didn't tell a lot of jokes, I kept it pretty, wasn't trying to make it about myself like I tend to
Professional
do.
Dan. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's
But I
good.
did not shave either. I was like, you know what? I'm gonna be myself. We're gonna keep the earrings in. What are you
That's
gonna do?
fine. That's fine. It's hey, you got to do what you got to do. And look, they knew who they were getting when they asked you. Otherwise, they
They
wouldn't
knew
have asked
who
you.
they were. They knew. They were probably upset about it. They're like, but is he gonna upstage the handsome factor? The handsome scale. We need to keep it at a mid, and he's gonna raise it.
He's gonna raise it up. So, but hey, you know what? Sometimes you can't help it. It just
Can't
happens.
help it.
Yeah. It's how do you feel about weddings on a holiday? This didn't happen, obviously, with
That a thing?
I've been to a wedding that was on New Year's Eve, and I was like,
Well,
that's
that's
a little
hmm,
presumptuous that I want to spend my New Year's Eve with you at your wedding.
it is. But honestly, if you're inviting people that you would hang out with on New Year's Eve, then that sounds pretty dope.
True, and that's how I ended up looking at it. I had never met this person. I was the plus one to this wedding. Uh,
Ah,
it was another the other side of the family friend and such. So, but I was at first I was like, that man, I don't want to go out to this wedding at stay past midnight. And like I don't know any of these people. But then I was like, well, I'll be at a place. It's got an open bar. It's got food. It's got dessert. Like could be worse places. So
yeah, for sure.
not
Could
sure.
be at home, falling asleep before the ball drops. Done that a million times.
That's all I do now. I'm like,
That's
I don't
all
need
I
to
do.
stay up to watch, Rockin' New Year's Eve with Ryan Seacrest and watch people lip sync.
Nope, I got to get up and make my black eyed peas for good luck.
I don't know why I thought you were talking about the band. And I was like, why you're listening? Is that a thing? You just listen to the Black Eyed Peas on New Year's Eve?
Nah, man.
New Year's Day?
Did you know that black eyed peas for
No.
good luck? Oh,
Interesting.
it's like a thing. Like if you eat black eyed peas on New Year's Day, that's good luck for the whole year.
Who told you this?
Grandma and grandmas know everything.
Do they?
But no, honestly, if you look it up, I believe it's actually a thing. We got a
mean,
producer for these hot moments.
I believe Black Eyed Peas, good luck. We'll see. And Black Eyed Peas are considered a symbol of good luck, particularly for financial prosperity. And it originated in West Africa and yeah, it does seems to trace its roots to slavery. So
Well, that's not what I'm involved in. I'm just about. That's why I had it on New Year's Day and I got a house. Look at that.
there you go. So
No slavery. No slavery. Let's move.
none involved in any of the circumstances
No,
that you are speaking of.
definitely not.
So, this is the risk of reading
Don't
something
Google
live.
shit. Don't Google shit live.
Unfortunately, a lot of the things that we have in our society trace back to something truly terrible.
No, it's very true.
It's hey, maybe I'll eat black eyed peas, but I'll just not remember that part of the story.
You don't have, yeah, don't remember that part of the story. But well, come to think of it, my grandma was pretty racist. But
Aren't they all?
aren't they all?
Like, I mean, let's be honest.
She had
I'm
her
not excusing it, but
I was just like, there were many times where I was like, Grandma, you can't say that.
right, can't do that. That's not. It never was okay.
Right.
Oh, fun times. Not. Anywho, uh, let's before we move on to talking about this LA Galaxy game, which I really do not want to talk about for a myriad of reasons. I have to put in a little plug here. Calling all Chiefs fans, you could be on the field at the 50 inside GEHA Field for the official coin toss at a Chiefs home game this season. Visit chiefs.com/GEHA now. Enter to win a chance to be on the field for a once-in-a-lifetime view of the pregame coin toss. And the Chiefs look so much better now. They look like they're the Chiefs again. Plus, you can score other exclusive prizes. Enter for a chance to win at chiefs.com/GEHA. GEHA is the proud partner of the Kansas City Chiefs. And we will be right back.
Chiefs Kingdom, I have got a question for you. What is your favorite touchdown? Well, for me, I can confidently say that my favorite touchdown, it's the next one, because with DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NFL, every touchdown could bring you closer to cashing in. From the first touchdown score to anytime touchdown props or the thrill of live in-game betting, every snap is loaded with opportunity. From spreads to money lines, same game parlays, regular parlays, you want it, DraftKings has got it. Here's the best part. Bet just $5, and if your bet wins, you'll get $200 in bonus bets instantly. I use DraftKings Sportsbook, and you should too. Your team hitting pay dirt pays out to you. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now and use code KCSN. That's code KCSN to turn $5 into $200 in bonus bets if your bet wins. In partnership with DraftKings, the crown is yours. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. In New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369. In Connecticut, help is available for problem gambling. Call 888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org. Please play responsibly. On behalf of Boot Hill Casino and Resort in Kansas, fees may apply in Illinois. 21 plus age and eligibility varies by jurisdiction. Void in Ontario. Bet must win to receive reward. Minimum minus 500 odds required. Bonus bets expire 7 days after issuance. For additional terms and responsible gaming resources, see dkng.co/audio.
Man, I don't think I told you, but I saw that Marlon Wayans football movie last week.
How was that?
Have you heard of that?
I don't know if I've heard of this. I've been very out of touch lately.
Okay. It's from Jordan Peele's production company.
Oh, this one. Yes. Okay.
Yes.
As soon as you
It
said
is
Jordan Peele.
It's not a Jordan Peele movie. He didn't
Right.
write it. He didn't direct it. He just put his name on the production,
Yeah.
But it was whatever.
okay.
It was. I mean, I enjoyed it. I had a good time. I can't say I'd watch it again. And kind of wish I would have waited for streaming and not spent $6, But
So it could be worse.
could be worse. And it's a Tuesday, so it's a $6 movie day. But I thought the guy who played the lead was very good. I thought Marlon Wayans was pretty creepy at times. I was like, God dang. And it kind of shines a light on athletes in general, man.
Yeah.
And the things and the pressure they have to be under.
Oh, man.
And quarterbacks in general.
Mm-hmm.
Like, dude, there was a whole scene where every incomplete pass this guy made, another guy had to take a ball to the face from one of those machines, those zips.
Ooh.
And it was kind of an implication of like, it's on you.
Yeah.
No one's out here got your back. You rely on you. And he kept missing passes, and he was just checking this guy in the face.
Getting balls to the face.
It was what? Hold up.
Well, phrasing.
Anyways, it was okay.
I might have to check that out. We'll
Stream it. Don't buy it. Don't go.
Well, I don't go to the theater. I don't like people enough to go to the theater. The only time I go to the theater if it's like a Marvel or a Star Wars movie and I don't want it to get ruined.
No, that's true.
But even then, I get mad at the people around me. I'm like, stop slurping your drink. There's nothing left. It's just ice.
See, you gotta relax.
Rustling around in your red vines. They're not that good.
You need
anyway.
to pop an edible or something and take away from there. You've been watching Marvel Zombies on Disney?
I need to. I haven't.
Yeah, I kind of had it on in the background, not really paying attention. So
I also need to catch up on Ironheart. I didn't watch that yet, but I've heard good things.
That's fun.
So,
yeah,
and excited about that. But it's also, as of today, the start of spooky season because it's October 1st. So
wow,
it's crazy.
I'm about to watch some spooky shit.
I you know me, I toe that line of like horror and thriller. Like I like it up to a point, but once it gets too scary, then I have nightmares about mimics when I'm sleeping in my bed by myself.
See, you got to see Weapons.
I do need to see Weapons.
Stream that when that comes out.
Weapons, I'll see Sinners. I still haven't seen Sinners.
Oh,
so I need to see Sinners.
It's pretty good.
I've heard good things.
Yeah,
but we'll see. Maybe I'll stream.
I love spooky movie season, man. I Huluween. Hulu always has like some Huluween. They put on a bunch of scary movies around this time. That's exciting.
There you go. I'm gonna have some family in town for Halloween this year, so I might actually like do something instead of just being the curmudgeon at my house by myself with the light off on the porch.
With the light off, no candy for you, kids.
Get out of here.
Get
Maybe
off
a
my
toothbrush. Let's talk about this game a little bit. We knew heading into this game, this was going to be a weird one because these are like two of the worst teams in the league. And then Sporting had quite a lot of rotation in this lineup for a myriad of reasons, but Steven Afrifa started with Zoran Basong and Memo Rodriguez in this 4-4-2. We had Mason Toye and Dejan Jovic up top. Then Tino Shallowy, Ndembe Montez, Ian James, and Kyrie Shelton in front of John Pulskamp. And, even though the LA Galaxy didn't have a whole lot to play for, there's certainly more names that you are familiar with over there, with Gabriel Peck, Cirillo, Paintsil, Fagundes, etc. So, and a Chris Rindov sighting, which was interesting.
Turns out, two things I noticed. Turns out Joseph Paintsil's pretty good. And looks like no one goes to these games. I mean, this was an empty-ass stadium, and my dumb ass late at night, I'm like, well, it's 9:30. Who's going to go to that game?
Right, yeah, why would you go to a game that's kicking off at 9:30?
It's 7:30 there. But they got shit started real fast, dude. Like 3 minutes in, and I just did this. Threw my damn hands up. I was over it.
It was not good, dude. This game from the get-go just was not something that I wanted to continue to watch. I mean, I'm gonna be honest. I didn't watch it live because I fell asleep because it was late and I forgot it was on. But that's the state of Sporting Kansas City right now. But yeah, you're right. 3 minutes in and it's a freaking set piece goal kick or set piece corner kick. And once again, just Sporting can't clear the box. And Joseph Paintsil, granted, pretty good goal. Like he gets his foot around.
Guarded. How does that happen? He's guarded.
Man, I mean, that was a theme throughout this entire game was there is just a total lack of defensive effort. I mean, he's pretty wide open to begin. And then when he gets the ball, it's, Stephen Miller and Logan and Denbe. Stephen Miller. Woof. That's not him. Man, I've been reading too much doom scrolling. Stephen Afrifa. Totally different person. Oh, God damn.
Who is that other person? Who's that?
So a terrible, terrible human being.
Oh, okay.
And
I honestly don't know. I'm curious.
A certain administration that most people know I'm not a fan of.
Okay.
And Stephen Afrifa can't rotate over there, and Logan and Denbe just can't somehow misses the block entirely. And Paintsil just curls us around Zoran Basong. I keep saying Logan and Denbe. It's Zoran Basong. I'm right. Yeah. Because I somehow confused Stephen Afrifa and Stephen Miller.
Well, there is a Miller on the other team who did get an assist on the second goal.
Maybe that's what I'm thinking of. I'm conflating them. But bad defense was just a theme throughout this game for
every goal.
Kansas City.
Every goal, dude. Second one, everyone's just standing. Everyone's just looking like what happened here.
Really, really poor. And I don't say this lightly, and I don't say this as if I'm blaming Kerry Zavagnin because I don't think it's his fault. He was put in a pretty much impossible situation. But this kind of feels like a team that's just given up. Like they know there's nothing to play for and there's really no effort, it feels like, which is strange for people that feel like they should be playing for their jobs. I mean, Ian James, maybe you can chalk this up to a rookie mistake, but on this second goal, he just steps way too high and I'm not sure what he thinks he's doing. And then Alan Montez, man, I don't know what the hell's going on with this man, but I don't think the dude has it. He doesn't seem like it.
But he made a good tacos video with Munoz, a little behind the shield.
He did.
They like tacos,
He did, but he can't get there. And then
also it made me hungry watching that video. I was
I'm hungry right now.
Some tacos.
I think that's part of the problem is I didn't eat enough today.
Damn, bro. But I got shakshuka in the fridge ready to go.
But Montez, he deflects this ball again to Joseph Paintsil, and Logan and Denbe just kind of stops. Doesn't even attempt to block this ball.
I don't get it.
Just weird.
I don't get it at all. And I'm like, okay, 2-0. Next goal is going to be a big one. Luckily, it was for us. And I'm thinking in that moment when Jovic scores in like the 20-something, and I'm feeling good. I'm like, cool, man. That's momentum back our way. Let's go.
Now, unfortunately, this team is not built to come from behind, but it was nice. Again, Jovic is not one who I ever question the effort of. Jovic obviously is a professional. He's proven it for, multiple seasons in this league that he is a top tier striker. And again, it's Mason Toye involved in this. And Mason Toye, again, a career veteran who I'm not questioning his effort out there. And we've said, as long as Mason Toye has been on the field for Sporting KC this year, his off-the-ball movement is arguably the best of any Sporting Kansas City player. He makes a fantastic run here, really good hold-up play, and finds the late-breaking Dejan Jovic. And again, it's 3 veterans involved in this play. Memo Rodriguez to Mason Toye to Dejan Jovic. I'm not going to question their effort. It is a lot of these other players who I'm looking at you, it's kind of standing around. You're not doing much. And I'm like, are you all ready to just go on vacation? Are you that over the season, even though you have 4 games left? I don't know.
Yeah, seriously. I mean, but dude, we had opportunities too, man. Like Afrifa rattled the crossbar on one that the goalkeeper did get fingers on, but that's going in the net.
Yeah.
The goalkeeper doesn't touch it, and then it's a whole new ball game.
Right.
And I was very excited, man, seeing that this first half. It's like we had a little fight in us until all the wheels fell off. And
that's sort of the story of Sporting Kansas City this year. You show moments of fight, and then wheels fall off at an inopportune time. And I don't know, this is anecdotal, I don't know how many goals they've given up, in the last 5 minutes of the first half or as we're approaching halftime this year, but it sure feels like a lot. And again, just, lazy, poor defense. Daniel Shallowy gets turned around. Nobody's there. It's Joseph Paintsil again. And it's just, there's nobody defending in the box. And this is way too easy.
It's insane. The guy sneaks behind Shallowy and he acts like the guy's offside. Shallowy holds his hand up. It's like, nope. Did someone say who got beat and you held your hand up? I believe that.
It's just, Montez, again, slow, can't get there. Kyrie Shelton gets beat by Paintsil, so he's wide open. This is like,
bro, first half hat trick. First half hat trick for this man, and he about had a fourth in stoppage time of the first half. He hit the freaking post.
It's insane, dude.
Unreal.
If you look at MLSsoccer.com, and we know that their XG is off. Nobody still understands how they calculate it. The XG that they have for this on MLSsoccer.com is 5.7 for the Galaxy to 1.3 for Sporting Kansas City, which I'm like, okay, that's a little intense. And I'm like, nah, I don't trust MLSsoccer.com's XG. I go to FOTMob, and I'm like, theirs is generally a little bit more accurate. Still, on FOTMob, 3.85 XG for the Galaxy, 1.56 for Sporting Kansas City. So basically a 4-1 game, which is exactly how it ended after Fagundes got his goal in the 60th minute. And again, look, man, Zoran Basong, for somebody who is on a contract, he gives this ball up and then stands there complaining to Mason Toye as the Galaxy just run right by him. And then again, Paintsil's involved. Fagundes gets right, in an open spot. Montez is pissed. It's just an embarrassing defensive performance all around.
Very much so.
Awful.
We if those numbers, the XG numbers, all that says is that it turned out how it should have. Like we got our asses beat, and that they didn't overperform or anything like that. Like they truly whooped some ass, and we made them. They look like the LA Galaxy of last year, man. MLS Cup winners. And I'm like, damn, dude, if there was an opportunity for us to get a win, surely it would be against the frickin' wooden spoon leaders, right?
Right. This
is
just truly embarrassing stuff. And now, in a situation that we didn't really think was feasible, month or two ago, knowing that Sporting probably wasn't going to make the playoffs, but I don't think any of us were sitting here thinking they're a legitimate wooden spoon contending team. And now they're just 3 points off the wooden spoon. The LA Galaxy, the team that just beat them, are at 24 points, and Kansas City are at 27 points, except the Galaxy also have a game in hand. So Sporting has 2 games left, and really, it's going to come down most likely between DC United at 25 points, Sporting at 27 points, and the LA Galaxy at 24 points. And the Galaxy has a game in hand on Sporting. So there is a real legitimate chance that Sporting Kansas City could be the worst team in MLS soccer this year.
There is. And it won't be because of John Postcamp, because he had some highlight reel saves in this game, dude. Some
Mhm.
point blank stuff, some full extension stuff. And I'm like, how many times this year have we said that John Postcamp's not been the problem?
Right.
In fact, he kept this game from being 8-1, you know?
What is he supposed to do when he's getting a defensive effort in front of him that those teams or that this team put together?
Yeah.
It's just absolutely, absolutely atrocious. Sporting Kansas City does not have the worst goal differential in the league. They have, I want to say, they are tied for third worst because DC United has the worst at -35, then Montreal at -23, and then Sporting is tied with the Galaxy at -21. But Sporting Kansas City does have the worst defense in the entire league. They have given up 67 goals through 32 games. That is the most in the entire league, more than the Wooden Spoon leading DC United, who have 64. So the defense is the problem. The offense, I'm not saying has been great, but like there's only so much the offense can do when the defense is Swiss cheese the way they are. So
Oh, yeah.
honestly, clear it out. Clear out the defensive line as many as you can, because if they don't want to fight or play with pride over these last couple of games, knowing that they're fighting for contracts, then you don't get to be here. It's as simple as that in my mind.
Well, and then you got Shapi Suleimanov over here having a tackle football match.
Red cards. Mm-hmm.
Holy shit. That was just, he wasn't even on the field that long, was he?
No, I mean, it was, I'm looking at the summary right now. He came on in the 70th minute for Daniel Shalhoub, and 13 minutes later was shown his red card.
And he's baffled. I get it. His eyes were on the ball. He wasn't going to hit that guy. But the fact that leg, I don't know if that's a red for me, if I'm being honest. And if that's a red, then why does the guy not get a yellow for getting up and shoving him?
Yeah, I mean, a lot of times it's, you don't get, when there's a red card like that, they don't always, when there's a retaliation, they don't always give a card like that too. And he does shove him, but it's not the most aggressive shove I've ever seen. Yeah, I mean, red card, I get it. I mean, like, it's not studs up or anything, but yeah, you're right. It's like an American football tackle, basically. And he goes right into him and makes no real attempt on the ball. So,
and they VAR'd that shit too, and they deemed it like, no, everything's fine, because they would have looked at it and said, no, actually that's a yellow. And I actually thought that's what it was going to be.
I just don't. Yeah, I mean, it was violent enough and like not even remotely a soccer play that like I get why they just left it. Would it have been overturned into a red card had the ref given a yellow on the field? Probably not. It probably stays with whatever the call is on the field, if I'm being honest. But just, I don't know. And again, Jovic, the only one who is giving really any sort of effort right before the end of the game, has like sort of a one-man show and almost gets another goal for Sporting, but just gets deflected right over the crossbar, and that's that.
Yeah. And again, I question myself why I stayed up that late watching that.
Yeah, it's one of those things where I'm like, man, it kind of is annoying, and like you said, it sort of speaks to the state of things that like this is literally the first time I forgot a Sporting game was on, partially because it was late. I'm tired, still, maybe a little jet lagged, but when you have one team who, like we talked about on Currently this last week, is literally setting records in the positive sense in the KC Current, and then you have Sporting who are, trying not to be the worst team in the league. It's there's only so much attention that you have. And I get what Carey's trying to say after the match, but like, it kind of falls on deaf ears for me when you're like, right out of the gate, we started the game fine when you give up a goal 3 minutes into the game. Like, you can't, like, okay, so the first 60 seconds was okay, but then 120 seconds later, the wheels fell off. That's not starting the game fine to me.
Right. Precisely.
It's annoying. It is what it is. And now Sporting turns their attention to Minnesota. And Minnesota is third place in the league. They have 55 points. They are 8-2-6 on the road. They are 7-5-4 at home. Obviously, this game is in Minnesota. They are a stout defense, a solid offense, and I see zero reason why Sporting Kansas City is not going to go up to Minnesota and just get gobsmacked by the Loons. Like, I'm going to be honest.
Well, I mean, we'll probably mess around and win this game if I'm being honest.
I mean, that is probably peak Sporting to do something like that. Yes,
that's how that would work. We're due for a good performance. It's been a long time.
Yeah, and I mean, like they have they got a 10-goal scorer in Oluwaseyi, but they also have Yeboah. They have Markanic. They got Robin Ludd. 4 people with 5 or more goals. Pereira has 4 goals. So they are a good attacking team that is stout defensively, and I just am not sure that I see much of a chance of Sporting going up and getting a result. Now, Minnesota did tie last week on the road at Colorado. They came from behind in the second half and earned the single point, but there's no reason for me to sit here and think that Sporting are going to get even a point, let alone win this game. But like you said, it's MLS. Anything can happen. Who knows?
Who knows?
Who knows? Should we take our second break here real quick, and then we'll come back and talk about the big news of the day that Sporting actually released before we recorded?
Sounds good to me.
I think so. All right, we'll take our second break. We'll be right back.
Looking for tickets for your next event? Tickets for Less is your #1 source. Save big on every purchase when you use promo code KCSN at ticketsforless.com.
Success in real estate takes more than vision. It takes the right financial partner. When someone takes something rundown and turns it into something great, that's called a comeback story, like Brain Group. They take distressed properties here in KC, completely rework them, and then turn them into valuable real estate. But that kind of work needs the right bank behind it. Enter Emprise Bank. They're not about cookie-cutter loans. They saw Brain Group's vision, backed them, and now they're making big moves in Kansas City real estate. Talk about your partner in possible. Emprise doesn't do one-size-fits-all financing. They invest in potential and back growth. Visit emprisebank.com/KC to learn more. Emprise Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
What's up, guys? I'm BJ Kissel, founder and CEO of KC Sports Network, and I'm here to talk to Kansas City businesses. If you rely on technology, you need an IT support team that's not just another vendor, but a true IT partner. That's why I want to introduce you to my friend and neighbor, KJ Miller. He is a VCIO at ThrottleNet, the Midwest's highest rated and most reviewed IT support company. They've been in business for more than 25 years, helping companies stay secure, productive, and ahead of the curve. They aren't just IT support, but they provide data security, IT strategy, and cloud software services. They do it all, and their reviews show they do it better than anyone else. So if you want to hear about how ThrottleNet can help your local business, join the conversation with myself, KJ Miller from ThrottleNet, and our resident genius from KC Sports Network when it comes to IT, at least as he's affectionately known by us, Mr. Craig Stout. Click the link in the description to hear how ThrottleNet can help you.
Hey, you got the U.S. Open Cup final tonight.
That is true. U.S. Open Cup final. You going to be watching that?
No.
Have it on
I have rehearsal.
Maybe.
You know, we got to open Shawshank next Friday or next Saturday.
Oh, yeah. Austin versus Nashville. So I guess I'm pulling for Nashville because I'm not an Austin fan.
Yeah. Did I? I forgot to even tell you I was part of a MLS panel.
That's right.
I can't really talk about, but it was to discuss potential Major League Soccer season structures, as we've talked about for years. They've discussed moving to the European calendar, you know?
Yeah.
Anyways, I was on there with a guy from Austin
Nice.
fan,
Okay.
a Vancouver man, Seattle lady, and Cincinnati lady. So basically, all teams that are in the playoffs, and then there's me,
And then
feeling like a loser with all my scarves behind me. Luckily, Vancouver guy was in a jersey too. People were repping their stuff, you know?
I mean, if they don't tell you not to, then there's no reason not to.
Right. But I had to drop that I had a podcast. You know I did. And I was like, I know some stuff. Got a podcast.
There you go. It's, so it's, you do what you got to do. Get that promotion out there. So
pretty neat.
Sorry, my dad's calling me, and I'm like, do your parents do this? If you reject the call, they decide to call you back immediately, and I'm like, no, there's like, I had to reject it, and
don't reject it. Just let it.
I didn't know because I messed with the recording, so I was like, sorry, Dad.
You're hooked up to your computer for your phone too.
Computer too, yeah. So I'm like, I don't want you to mess with this.
It calls on your computer. I don't do that.
I have before, but I don't do it very often.
See, I don't even have it paired to my computer.
It's more of like a notification thing. Like, so if I'm working on my computer and it tells me,
Well, that's what this is.
I know, I got it all.
So your watch is.
It's it's all
You got alerts everywhere.
Apple ecosystem in my house. I got the HomePod next to me. I got the Apple TV out there. It's
The HomePod, that is the worst one.
a great
That is
speaker.
it's their worst device,
It's a great speaker.
but it's overpriced for what it is.
I didn't buy it from Apple. I was gifted it by a family member who bought it from Apple and didn't want it.
Is it just like an Amazon Echo? Or
No, it's better than an Echo.
is it?
I mean, it's got
the
much
Dot
better
or whatever?
sound quality than an Echo, that's for sure.
Interesting.
So, but the big news for Sporting Kansas City is, as much as we are tired of talking about the 2025 season, we can now finally start to look toward 2026 and beyond, because we now know who is going to be the person making the decisions for Sporting Kansas City, because Sporting KC has named David Lee as president of soccer operations and general manager. And David Lee has signed a 7-year contract with the club through 2032. So this is the dude. This is the guy. This is, I'm not going to call him the new Peter Vermees because it's not the
Milkman.
same situation, but this is the milkman. And he will serve as the club's chief soccer officer and will play an executive leadership role in all areas of Sporting soccer enterprise, including first team roster management, player recruitment, scouting, analytics, technical staff oversight, and continued development of Sporting KC2 and the SKC Academy. He will report directly to the club's ownership group and will oversee sporting director Mike Burns and interim head coach Kerry Zavagnin, according to the release that Sporting sent out. So we now have a guy. And
He's won championships.
Not only has he won championship, and like the hard thing with a hire like this is it's not a designated player. It's not a coach. Like, these aren't names that like fans are intimately aware of. So you're like, Sporting Kansas City hired David Lee, and you're like, yeah, cool. What does that mean? Who is
good news though?
Right. Is that good? Is that bad? Well, Lee has been with NYCFC since 2014 in some sort of capacity. He took over as their chief soccer officer in 2020, and Tom Bogert pointed out on social media, NYCFC has the most points in MLS since Lee took over as chief soccer officer in 2020.
And most playoff appearances. 9
playoff appearances. They won MLS Cup in 2021. They won Campeones Cup in 2022. So this isn't a man who's come in, who's been out of work and looking for something. Sporting Kansas City went out, found a guy who has a
You
proven...
mean this is not a Mike Burns?
I wasn't going to say it, but...
Well, I'm just, that's what he was. You know what I mean? It is what it is. But this is a decent pickup. I don't hate this at all.
No, this is Sporting Kansas City. I think when I first texted you, because again, you got to research, and all I see is David Lee. I'm reading the press release, and you're like, okay, I was like, I'm not underwhelmed. I'm not overwhelmed. I am perfectly whelmed.
And he's an English guy, right? He's from England.
Yes, but the more I read about this hire, the more I see the vision of what Mike Gillig and the Sporting Kansas City ownership group are going for. He's got a background in analytics, which is something that Peter used sparingly, I would say, and Kerry uses a little bit more than Peter, but analytics haven't been necessarily the core of what Sporting Kansas City have done traditionally in the past from a strategic standpoint. And I am very excited to see the direction that this goes. Lee did share a quote and said, Sporting Kansas City has a proud history, a passionate fan base, and a winning culture. I want to thank the ownership for this special opportunity and look forward to building on the strong foundation that has been established in this great soccer city. So he's got his work cut out for him, but 17 players out of contract or that they can move on from this offseason. Does a hire like this from a good organization in City Football Group, sorry, United fans, does this give you a little bit of hope, a little bit of spark for Sporting Kansas City going forward?
I mean, it's something, right? It's something. It's what we've been looking for. They're trying to restructure some stuff. They mentioned it's going to take a bit. Stick with us. We got to rebuild this team a little bit. I don't know, man. We do want to see the players, though, and time will tell. Off-season's coming.
Yeah, I mean, that is the most important thing is, okay, what are his decisions from a player and roster standpoint? What are his decisions about Mike Burns as sporting director? What are his decisions about Kerry Zavagnin as the coach? Who does he want to hire as coach? Does his roster building philosophy align with Mike Burns' roster building philosophy? These are all questions that really have to be answered before they can even start making decisions on these 17 players. And these are decisions that have to be answered very, very quickly, because once Sporting KC's MLS season ends, there start to become some off-season roster mechanisms and deadlines that will come very quickly. And if you don't have a coach or a sporting director in place, then that makes it that much more difficult.
Sometimes I think you talk and look directly into the camera because you know it's going to be trailer bait, whatever you're about to say. You're like, they're going to clip this smart shit and put it on the trailer. It just sounds right.
No, I didn't think about that, but now I'm in my head. Now I'm gonna be doing
something
it.
clicked. Something clicked just now. I was like, oh, that might be trailer bait.
You look right at you.
And this might be trailer bait. The conversation about trailer bait.
Hello on Twitter. Yeah, I don't know. It is interesting. I mean, even Mike Illig, the principal owner, said, this was a 6-month global search, and David was the clear and undeniable choice. Brings a fresh vision, global experience, and relentless ambition. So he is, fresh vision, global experience, and relentless ambition are 3 things that Sporting Kansas City fans desperately are hoping for. And we'll see if they can deliver. Right now, it's just words. And I think Sporting fans are a little bit tired of words because we've been hearing a lot of words for a lot of years. But
agreed.
I don't know. I think this is exciting. He's been with NYCFC since they joined. He was part of the club's inaugural technical staff. He specialized in player recruitment and scouting. And those are the areas that Sporting is in most need of, player recruitment and scouting. I think that is probably why David Lee is the guy that they went with. But you're right. He had his professional career in England. He started working in MLS in 2011 as a performance analyst for the New York Red Bulls. They won the 2013 Supporters Shield at that time, and then went over to NYCFC before they started their first season in 2015. So he knows the league very well. He knows how to recruit. The biggest question I have is his entire time in MLS has been in New York City, either with the Red Bulls or with NYCFC. Is he going to be able to sell Kansas City?
That's part of it. I guess we'll have to see.
Yeah, that's what Peter Vermees always said was the hardest thing when recruiting international players is how do you get them to Kansas City? Once you get them here, Peter said you could sell them pretty easily because the facilities are pretty top notch. Hopefully that's still the case, but you got to get them to Kansas City first.
For sure.
So, but if nothing else, I feel like this gives a bit of direction for Sporting Kansas City, and it gives fans something it certainly at least gives me something to look forward to over the next handful of months, because now I'm like, okay, we got the guy in charge for 7 years. We're going to see his vision. No more of this. Is this going to be the year it all blows up? Is this going to be the year it all blows up? And on it, quite frankly, this is probably this ownership group's legacy is resting upon the shoulders of David Lee. Can Michael Illig reinvigorate the success of this club in the mid-2010s and bring it back to a competitive team? And is David Lee the right guy to do it? We'll find out.
That's what we're all hoping for.
Yeah. So, interesting times, man. I think we've talked about this before, but there's a virtual 0% chance that Kerry Zavagnin is retained as the head coach, you would think, right?
That's the thought. Yeah.
Yeah.
It'd be weird if he did.
It would be weird if he did. I think it is, again, I really like him on a personal level. I think he's a wonderful guy. I wish him all the success in the world, and I hope he has a very successful career as a coach somewhere. I just don't think it's the right time at Sporting Kansas City.
They would, if they do keep him, they're going to package him in the most publicity tweaked kind of way to make sure people get behind him and like, hey, this is our guy right now. He didn't get a full season. We're giving him a full off season. I'm not saying it's not possible, but I think everything behind the club and trying to truly wash your mouth of the Peter Vermees era, I could see the club wanting to make a true statement and moving on.
The good news is with a hire like this, they've been talking about this position for 6 months, and it sounds like they've known David Lee is their guy for a while. It's just been, crossing the T's and dotting the I's and such. I'm sure he has a short list of people in his mind for both coach and sporting director if it's not Kerry Zavagnin and it's not Mike Burns. And I'm sure within whatever is legally allowed, he has already started some of those conversations to hit the ground running.
Yeah.
So I think we will know very, very soon, as soon as the day after decision day, if Kerry Zavagnin and Mike Burns have a future at Sporting Kansas City.
100%. They'll want to get someone in the door and get busy on off-season stuff.
For sure. So we'll see. It's sort of like a mixed bag of emotions right now. It sucks that the season's coming to an end and it was as bad as it was, but a shred of a ray of sunshine maybe for the future of Sporting Kansas City. But outside of that, is there anything else that you're really looking forward to in MLS this week? Like you said, there's the U.S. Open Cup final, and then there's a few other interesting games. The Red Bulls against Cincinnati, Austin against St. Louis. That's one maybe to keep an eye on to see if Sporting can jump St. Louis if we somehow get a point against Minnesota.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think we're going to do good at Minnesota. They're only the number 3 team in the conference. No big deal.
Yeah. The Seattle Sounders are playing the Portland Timbers, and I actually will be in Seattle that day. And now suddenly I'm wondering, because I'm going to Seattle this weekend, and I'm like,
well done.
Should I try to go watch the Sounders play the Timbers at Lucas?
Have you been to Seattle game yet at Seattle?
I have not, no.
It's a pretty cool environment. I know it's a football field, but it's a good time.
I'm going to be with some friends, and I know a couple of them are soccer fans, so I'm trying to be like, can I convince them to go to this game with me? And if not, do I just go on my own?
Just a couple hours, and you can walk there. Pretty easy.
Right. Yeah, maybe. I might do this. I'm making plans on the fly.
There you go, man.
You've been to a game there again when Sporting was up there, right?
Yeah, that's the old rock bottom game from Tim Melia.
It was that game you were at, of
I
course.
was in person. There should be a shirt for that moment to say I was there.
Why isn't there?
I don't know.
Probably because Seattle fans would have a conniption fit if we made shirts out of it. But
let's make a shirt.
Well, let's do it. Let's do it. But yeah, I don't know, man. It's a weird time to be a Sporting fan right now. But like we said, you got the Current in town. Make sure you're listening to Currently with Dan and Chris. Is Chris going to be back this week?
He's back. We recorded today.
There you go. Chris is back from China. So make sure you listen to Currently. And it'll be a good time. You got anything else for our good listeners this week?
Let's rock and roll, man. My tummy's grumbling.
My tummy is grumbling as well, too. Thank you all so much for listening. We appreciate you. Let us know what you think of this new hire and the direction that Sporting Kansas City is headed. Are you excited for the David Lee hire? And if so, what do you expect from him? Make sure you follow us on social at NoOtherPod, at Dan Kooser, at JCMac03. Leave us a 5-star rating and review. You can tell us what you think of the hire there. You can shoot us an email, nootherpod@gmail.com, or you can check us out on YouTube, KCSN Soccer, or via the Kansas City Sports Network app. But until next time, he's Dan. I'm Jimmy. We'll catch y'all later. See ya.
We got that milkman, baby.